Hello and welcome to our class, English 42601, Writing for Social Media Summer Session. What I'd like to do in this little video intro to the course is just show you a few features in Blackboard, how the course is laid out, explain a few of the requirements, highlight the course website for you, and other little pieces of information which I hope will help make a very successful summer for you in terms of taking this course. So when you come into the Blackboard course, this is what you're going to see. You'll notice in the left menu here, there's an area, Course Home, Start Here. That's where I am now. There's a section for announcements that I'll be posting throughout the semester, and those you'll also receive via email. Here's a section for PowerPoints that are related to the individual units of the course, and of course a link to our discussion board. As well, there is a writing assignment submission area where you will submit your writing assignments and a grading rubric for the discussions. So I'd like to first start here with the first link, okay, and that is the link to the course website. So if you click on that, this is what you'll see. So this is our course, English 426, Writing for Social Media. You'll see that we're at the home section of the course website, which basically is just the description of the course, the objectives, also the textbook. Okay, and the textbook is Tootin and Solomon, Social Media Marketing, 3rd edition. Okay, and it should be the 3rd edition. There is a 2nd edition, but that won't work, so make sure you buy the 3rd edition. You can also purchase it as an ebook here at vitalsource.com. The overview section gives you a little preview of the course, explains how each of the units are divided up. Again, here's the reference to the textbook. There's a schedule at a glance. There's a more specific schedule within each unit. So we'll be working on 4 units throughout the summer session. And there's a section on grades. And this explains to you what each of the assignments are worth, okay, in terms of points, and then how grades are determined based by percentage. And then the 4 units, and I'm just going to go to unit 1 for now, but they're all arranged pretty much the same way. Okay, there are the dates of the unit, which would include the discussion dates when discussions are taking place for that unit, the day the assignment is due, okay, and the reading assignment for that unit. Mostly they'll be reading assignments in the book, but there are also some extra links that I may post. So each unit has a set of learning objectives, okay, and it has a set of discussion starters, which you see here. It says select here. You click on the little bar and that pops open the discussion starters. These discussion starters, by the way, are also in the Blackboard course in the discussion board. I'll show you that in just a second. And then a description of the writing assignment, okay, and also the due date for the writing assignment. And oftentimes, too, for each assignment, I will give you a student example of that a student did in a previous section of the course, as well as the grading rubric for the assignment. So you can click on those to see that. And so, as I said, there are 4 units in the course. Okay, and this whole section here I arrived at by clicking on this link in the Blackboard course where it says Start Here. And it tells you select here for all course materials, reading assignments, writing assignments, etc. Okay, the next link is the discussion board. And this will take you to the 4 discussion boards for the course. There's also one for an ungraded discussion board for introducing yourself to the class, and I ask that you do that on the first 2 days of the class. And then here, for example, if we click on Unit 1 discussion, you'll see these are the same starters that you saw in the course website, and I've just broken them up into individual threads. So like, for example, here, these were the starters related to social media behaviors. So when you're responding to these, you would be in this section. Okay, and then so on and so forth. And all these prompts that you see here are also in that section of the course website. Okay, so that can all be found under the link for discussion boards, which is here and also on the menu. Here's that special discussion board I talked about, which will be active for a couple of days, where you can introduce yourself to the class. This section here is the writing assignment submission area. Okay, and here is where you would go to submit your assignments. So for example, if you're submitting assignment 1, you would click on here and it would give you an opportunity to upload your file. Okay, here again is a link to the PowerPoints. Okay, and those PowerPoints pertain to the units. You'll see you click on each of these and there's PowerPoint that goes along with each of the units in the course. The PowerPoints help to kind of refresh the points you'll be reading about in the textbook. And speaking of the textbook, I'll also provide here, which I don't have up at the time of this video, but I will here on this main page provide a link to the first 2 chapters of the textbook. Okay, this is just in case you weren't able to get the book right by June 10th. I will have the first 2 chapters up there. The first 2 chapters pertain to Unit 1. But you will need to get the book by the end of the first week, because after that we'll be moving on to other sections of the textbook. So those will be located here. Again, not up just yet, but they will be here when you are looking at the course. Okay, just wanted to give you a couple more points of information here, questions that typically come up. One is about the discussion board and the discussion assignments. Okay, and you'll notice that there is a grading rubric for the discussions. If we take just a quick look at that, because oftentimes the question comes up, well, how do you get the most points for the discussion? And this kind of breaks it down a little bit in terms of what would be considered high participation for maximum points versus low. And really high is kind of the idea that you're reading the majority of the posts throughout the unit. And again, discussions run the length of the unit. So whenever the unit starts and ends, that's when the discussion begins and ends. So I would recommend doing it in an ongoing basis at the rate of 5 to 7 times per week. Contributions that reflect an understanding of and familiarity with the course content. This is reading material, any other additional links, PowerPoints. Contributions that make connections between the course material and the general principles of the course. Okay, and so on. You can see, discussions that get maximum points fall into this area, and discussions that get lower points sort of fall here at the lower end of the scale. And to help, I kind of made a little scenario table. Well, what if I posted a lot of comments in the last few days of the unit? Will that get me maximum points? Probably not, because the idea is to participate on an ongoing basis. Doesn't have to be every day, but throughout the unit. Am I just supposed to post answers to all the discussion starters in one long message? No, because this isn't intended to be a quiz or anything. The discussion starters are meant to prompt discussion. So the intent is that you're interacting and discussing with other students, so on. And then finally, what are higher scores? Postings where your posts throughout the unit with substantive posts that exhibit the traits on the rubric, and where we use the discussion as a space for an actual class discussion, okay, where you're reading and responding to the posts of other students. Okay, so that can be found under the discussion grading rubric. Okay, and let me just quickly point out a couple other items here on the course homepage in Blackboard. Again, to reiterate, this is the link that goes to the website where all the course materials and reading assignments are. A link to the discussion board so you can participate in the discussions. And this final link is a link to the certificate in writing for interactive media. This course is one of the courses in the certificate. Many of you are already pursuing the certificate. If you're not and you'd like to, you can go here to find out more about it and what other courses are required. There are 5 courses that you need to complete to earn the certificate. Okay, that's it for now, and looking forward to working with everybody this summer.